If you ever wondered about small populations of people living in poverty and why that might be, as far as we're concerned, we identified some needs in places of Pacific Island nations as being issues relating access to cheap and reliable energies and internet communications. In 2010, we put together a fund application with Rotary International to support the implementation of 8 kilowatts of solar photovoltaics into all of the high schools in Tonga. This project has subsequently been approved under the conditions of successful implementation of a pilot program. This pilot program will begin in October, mid to late October, and includes the installation of 8 kilowatts of solar photovoltaic systems, power generation systems and information communication technologies into 5 schools on the main island of Tongatapu. Alongside of this program we'll run associated projects that relate to the utilisation of low-cost, low-frequency radio wireless communications and audio-visual communications. These projects are designed to identify whether or not the utilisation of information communication technologies can be beneficial in the development of small island nations. And Tonga is our opportunity to trial that project, to refine the model, to identify whether or not there are any pitfalls in the model in relation to sociological, anthropological, psychological, commercial, environmental and health related issues. Are these projects actually beneficial? That's the question I think that we're asking in this model. Collaborations, the project is supported by the government and people of Tonga, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Energy, and the Ministry of Communication and Information Technologies. The Ministry of Education, we've worked with them over a long period of time now, not only to participate in acquisition and distribution of educational resources, but also in establishment of high school science competitions, undergraduate scholarship and postgraduate scholarship programs that enable individuals from these nations to gain the capacity that they need to participate in the utilisation and sustainable utilisation of the huge resources that they have available to them in the form of sun and wind and tides, coconuts for biodiesel production, fisheries worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and so on. So the projects relate to the development of the capacity of the people living in these nations so that they can benefit from these technologies. I mean, there are only 100,000 people. It's not a big population. They should be developed nations, not less developed nations. Canterbury University is a resource. It has, like all universities, expertise in every facet of life that we can think of. But unfortunately, these sorts of institutions are relatively underutilised, certainly in areas of development. And I think that these sorts of collaborative programs where we combine people from humanities, subjects, sociologists, psychologists, anthropologists, with engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, biologists, people from law. You know, when you look at these sorts of programs, they require all of these aspects to be dealt with, not just the humanities aspect, not just the installation of solar PVs, but along with that, we need an educational component, so people from the College of Education can participate. Relationships need to be formalised in relation to the power that's being generated, will that power, is it okay that that power be distributed throughout the community? Do we need certificates of compliance to be drawn up and signed by the students, supervisors, the power company and the government on completion of the projects? Who owns what and who's responsible for what? Lawyers are a significant component to that. So organisations like institutions like the universities offer the sort of expertise that's required when you're refining a model that is generally pretty innovative like this one.